where the much better. If you have iPad, you have grid is easy get it. So just -2 secant uh uh 2x minus, if you take out 2, that means you divide by 2, so it's pi over 6 minus 1. Is that okay? And and uh so instead of recognize this is secant, I'm gonna recognize as a cosine first. So if it's a cosine, then you have amplitude is equal to 2. But for secant, it's none. So I'm going to say secant is none for the amplitude. Okay, so that's first thing I would be able to tell. Second thing I'll be able to tell is the midline. The midline is equal to y is equal to -1. Y equal to -1 is a horizontal line. 3 periods is equal to 2 pi over 2, which is pi. Is that okay? Okay. Quarter periods is equal to pi over 4. Now, here's the thing that you might have a hard time is this quarter period and this starting value are different um, different different denominators. So then you probably better is convert same denominator, then you can use the same increments. Okay, so but the last part is the shift, horizontal shift. Shift left or right? Right. So right pi over 6. Now, pi over 6 is also equal to 2 pi over 12. Is that okay? And this is equal to 3 pi over 12. Is that okay? So now they have the same denominator. Now I can just graph from the right. So I'm going to start by graphing the line. And may have some type of midline. Midline is going to be -1. So I'm going to use this to illustrate this. This the midline. Is that okay? The marker. So that way you can base on the marker and go up or down. And we're gonna use each increment as pi over 12. So I'm gonna say this each one is pi over 12. So this one is pi over 12 and 2 pi over 12 like that. So obviously it's moving right pi over 6. So it start at 2 pi over 12. So you start right along with anywhere in this line, depends on the, is that okay? Start here. And if it's a secant, then I'm graphing at a peak or the trough because we think cosine. When secant, we think cosine. So we're gonna go to peak or trough. So in this case, is a peak or trough? Trough, which is how many units below the midline? 2 units. Okay, so this is 2 units. So this is my first point here. Now, every time the quarter period, because this one is 3 spaces, 3 pi over 12. So I need to use 3 spaces rather than 2 spaces. Because even though the first is 2 spaces, but each quarter period is going to have a drastic change. So then I'm going to use 5 pi over 12 because I'm increasing by 3 pi over 12, which is pi over 4. Is that okay? So if I start at 12, I'm going to hit midline. And 3 more spaces, I'm going to go up 2 units. And 3 more spaces, I'm going to come down 2 units. And then this is going to be here. It's going to be here. It's going to be here. And it's going to be here. So the graph's going to be something like this. Is this okay? So Sydney, what the problem is so far? Do you?
I understand how to get everything, like all the information for the graph, but I was struggling with like how to actually graph it.
Yeah, but you gotta go ahead and graph it. I mean, there's no way that you gotta go ahead and learn to walk and fall. Fall on your faces a couple times. You're gonna have bloody nose. Oh. things like come out of your eyes, nose, and like snot, like but
Oh. Yeah, I get it. I get the analogy.
yeah, like when I have kids,
No, yeah, I get
I
it.
was like I hold it and I drop
Oh,
and he fall, and I hold it, I drop, and they fall.
let's do that.
Huh? No, I'm not gonna drop them in the air. I'm gonna hold them. You're gonna walk a couple steps before. Yes. Larissa, what you saying? You still don't understand how to find a point. So, do you understand? It's 2 points below the 2 pi over 12. It's 2 points below that. Now, every quarter period is gonna change a major transition, either from the minimum to the midline, or the midline to the maximum, or maximum to the midline. So that means it's 3 spaces because this is pi over 4. Pi over 4 converted to 3 pi over 12. So I'm using 3 spaces rather than 2 spaces. So 3 spaces go to the midline, 3 face above, and 3 space below.
You're always going over by your quarter period, right?
Exactly. And the quarter period in this case is 3 spaces because we designed as a pi over 12. So now we're gonna grab secant. Secant is when the things that is okay. So now I'm gonna just grab, yeah, yeah. When the midline hits the when the cosine graph hit the midline, it's gonna create an asymptote, and there you go. That's your asymptote. And the black graph is a secant graph, not a red graph. The red graph is used as reference to graph the black graph.
Where's it? I can't see black. City, the extra one. Oh.
This one is that okay? This the
Mystery, I'm asking the questions before it's confirmed. Yeah, definitely.
no, I appreciate that. But I just don't want you to ask every single question because that means you didn't try every single question. I want you to ask specific questions. So you need to know why you fall down, like whether you're not, you're not doing certain things correctly. I need to know, like, what kind of sports you play, Sydney?
None.
You don't play sports?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can laugh.
No, I'm not allowed. I don't. I mean, I play ping pong. But...
I think mine's a little bit better than ping pong.
Wait, what's yours then? What's your sports?
She's saying that nothing's better than ping pong.
Okay. No, I'm just slow. Okay, I see. I see how you are. But yeah, you just gotta. The problem is the people afraid of graph, and when you're afraid, you will never learn. When you're not afraid, when you go ahead and make mistake, you are gonna learn better. Yes, Isaac. Six. Is it a tangent graph?
Yeah.
Cotangent graph. Cotangent or what? Three cotangent or what?
2/3.
Mine's a what?
4.
4? Okay. So first of all, the 3 is just called a stretch value. So your next value gonna stretch 3 times more, and the -4 is a midline, so it's gonna shift the whole graph down -4. And but mainly you have to be able to tell is this one, which is pi over 2 over 3, which is 3 pi over 2. Is that okay? So 3 pi over 2 is the from asymptote to asymptote. So that the one thing that's nice about cotangent is I actually prefer cotangent over tangent. It's because cotangent graphs start with the asymptote. if it doesn't have, I don't usually give you a plus something or minus something. So you just start with the asymptote, so that way you can see things better. Because if I do like say plus pi over 2, then you have some transformation. But you don't. So you start with the asymptote. You're gonna go to the next thing. It's gonna be, this is a pi, and this is gonna be 3 pi over 2, right? Because this is pi over 2. So that is gonna be another asymptote. Is that okay? Because start with asymptote, you have whole period, and when end up with another asymptote. Now, you can probably say it start at -4, so it's gonna be somewhere along the midline. It's gonna be right here. So this is probably the middle point. Halfway between there, it probably will go up by 3. So halfway between here, so let's just say halfway is 3 units, so it's 1.5 units, so go up 3 units here, and this below 3 units. And this graph's gonna be like this. And there's a cotangent graph. Because that's just your next thing is gonna be 3 unit stretch. And this side is gonna be 3 unit stretch this way.
Can you explain like the asymptote?
Okay, so cotangent always start with the asymptote, just like cosine start at a peak or trough.
How do you know what you're?
You start with the asymptote, and you end with the next asymptote, because from asymptote to asymptote is a period.
How do you know what's your actual number?
At x equal to 0. Usually start at x equal to 0. Depend on your period. Your period is 3 pi over 2, then your next asymptote happened at 3 pi over 2.
Start at 3 pi over 2.
You start at 0, there's an asymptote, and you start at next asymptote at 3 pi over 2. So you kind of cut the graph into, this is a whole graph, and right in the middle is where the center is. It's going to go this way.
But now, can you like, can you explain that with like, wait, can you explain that with like tangent?
Tangent, yeah. So let me go to question 5, I think it's tangent.
Yeah.
What's the question 5?
Tan parentheses 2x
Minus 1. Okay, so this is a negative sign. This looks like a cotangent graph. But the problem is tangents start at the middle. So cotangents start at the asymptote. Yeah, start at this part, and you just go to the next part, because that's my period, right? My human body is a period here, from here, my left hand to right hand, it's my period. Now the problem with tangent is you start at a center. You start at here, you stretch half period either side. You stretch half period either side. So if a tangent of 2x here, we know the it's a pi over 2. So that is your period, because we know it's pi over n, not pi over b. Pi over b is pi over 2. So that means, yes, because the half period on one side, pi over 4, and this is a pi over 4. Does that make sense? So then you're gonna have a asymptote. And again, it's -1, so it's right here. And it's going this way, so it's 2 unit up. Oh no, not 2 unit up, it's 1 unit up, 1 unit down. And that's it. Pi over b, right? Pi over 2. So pi over 2 is the whole period. But if you start at center, I want to see how far from here to my left hand or right hand. So that means I want to see my half period. So I go either side of half period, that's the whole period.
Imagine there wasn't a negative sign to make it in front of the tangent graph. Can you do that?
Yeah, but cotangent start with asymptote though. So it's really similar to cotangent graph, but they starting is one start at center, one start at asymptote.
Can you just show another example of a tangent graph?
Hold on a second. Let me ask Isaac questions. Yes.
Shouldn't like the graph or number 5 be like flipped the other way?
Tangent is this way. Tangent's this way, so negative tangent is the other way. It doesn't change the amplitude, no. It doesn't change the amplitude. Yes, Miranda.
Can you also go over like the 5 equation?
finite equation. This is what we're gonna do. So Sydney just name a function and just graph it and then try it. The only thing that you can answer your own question is actually just fall on your faces. Couple times. It's gonna hurt a little bit, but I promise you're gonna be fine. But I appreciate you. You know what? Olivia's right. You asked the question other people will not ask.
Oh no, I said that, not her. She's probably so annoyed that I'm asking so many questions.
Oh.
Oh no, that's fine. I just like making fun of Cindy.
Okay. So go back to the question. I have no idea what the question. I had to look at it. The question pre-calc group, blah 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 blah. Okay. For this one, start at pi over 3, and I'm gonna assume that the graph look like this. So, and we are gonna do some more of this today. We start at pi over 3, and then we start at 4 units up, and the next one is this one's gonna be 2 pi over 3, and this one is gonna be 3. This is pi, and 3 units here, or 2 units here, 2 units here. So that's gonna give you 4 pi over 3, and this is 4 pi over 3. Ooh, pi. 4 pi over 3, and there's a 5 pi over 3. Okay, yeah. So so this particular graph, so you can see obviously what a midline is. So Elias, can you tell me what a midline here?
The midline is at positive 5.
You sure?
4.
Okay, it's 4. Okay, that's fine. It's 4, right? So this is the amplitude. This is the amplitude. So this is 3. So we know is 3. We know it's write down the equation first. Sine of bx plus minus c plus d. So d is 4. Is that okay? A is 3. And bx minus pi over 3. And that's it. Now we gotta figure out b. That's the hardest part for you to figure out. We're gonna see how long it takes to do a periods. So from pi over 3 to 5 pi over 3, what is the period? 4 pi over 3. So you're gonna set 4 pi over 3 equal to 2 pi over b. Do you see that? And you do cross multiply, so it'll be 6 pi equal to 4 pi b. And then b is equal to 3 over 2. So b is equal to 3 over 2. And that's how you figure out.
Wait, yesterday I did that, but then I went to go check in the decimal. I plugged it in. I got the answer.
There is a possibility the way you type in the decimals is off. So let's go try it first.
So is it completely?
Yeah, I typed it in wrong, so I said.
Okay, so let's type in 3 sine. I would do another parenthesis before the b. So was 3 over 2, right?
Yeah.
And I would do like this and do x. Make sure another parenthesis there. Minus pi over 3. And then what was it midline? Plus 4? Okay, so it's gonna be like this. So I will type in the midline first, so that way you can tell where they are. So at first point, C is pi over 3. Second point is 2 pi over 3, 7. That was correct. So if you type in the midline, you can tell what that is.
Wait, how did you find B again?
I figure out a period from end of period to beginning of period what the distance is. So let's just say if I figure out from here to here, it's 4 pi over 3. Then I know 4 pi over 3 must equal to the period of the sine, which is 2 pi over b like this. And I solve by cross multiply, which is 6 pi equal to 4 pi b. And b is equal to 6 pi over 4 pi, which is 3 over 2. Yes.
Okay, so for the second one, I got 8 pi over 8 equals b. So would b just equal pi, or would it equal 1? So like, would it?
That one is secant, so it's kind of hard to tell. We have 3 pi over 8 to 7 pi over 8, 11 pi over 8. So 3 pi over 8 to 11 pi over 8 is roughly what? 11 minus 3 is 8. So it's 8. So 8 pi over 8. So it's pi.
Oh, so would it not be just 1?
So pi equal to 2 pi over b. So you will say pi equal to 2 pi over b like this. So b is equal to 2 in that particular case.
Okay.
And in the second case, b is equal to 2. Sydney, all right? Okay.
I'm thinking about all the homework I have tonight.
Yes.
Did you do the very last one?
No, you do the last one.
I did. I just want to check if I did it right.
B is 2. B is 2.
B's 2?
Yeah, B is 2. And the midline is at 1. Amplitude for the sine graph is 2. So it will be 2. Okay, let me write down really quick. 2 cosecant of 2x minus 3 pi over 8 plus 1. Yeah. Is that okay?
Thanks for being helpful.
No, but she's right. She's asking question a lot of you guys are afraid to ask. What is something good about her is she's asking question. A lot of you guys are not even like her because you're afraid to ask question. So, you know, she can learn, but if you're afraid to ask question, that's even worse than afraid to try something. Because if you try something, you're still afraid to ask question, then you still don't know how to do it. So you have to not be afraid to ask question. You have to not be afraid to trying new questions. And that's the major problem most of you guys have learning. Graphing.
That's it?
That's it. And a reverse graph.
Can you do like more like reviews?
We're gonna do a reverse graph. The graph, I feel like you guys are getting there. You just need to go back to practice. Same homework. And just try same homework, practice, make sure you understand it. You'll be fine. Okay? I wanted you try the decimals, and I want you come up equations. So I feel like that part need to learn more. So I have come up a decimal activity a long time ago. I don't know if it's still there. Let's look at so long ago. Equation of trig function dashboard. Assign to your class, single class, yes.
How many
All right, so you're gonna go to student.decimal. You're gonna type in DPXVP8. Now, you have to be able to convert basic. Give me a second. To calculate periods, you have to be able to convert basic fraction. So for example, 1 over third is 0.33333. 2 over third is 0.6666. You know, you have to know whatever that is. 1.333 is 4.4 over 3. So basic conversion of this, you need it because you need to click. Also draw it in the midline because they will ask you 2 questions. I want you to graph in terms of sine and cosines. So I will show you here. The code is right here, right in front of you. Student.desmo.com, DPXVVPA.
Mr. Yang, where is an extension?
But you can plug in. You cannot do it on your phone. You have to do it on your computer.
Yo, what's the code?
DPXVPA. My name is Yo. You have to write an equation that matches the dotted graph.
You're finding equations.
It's right up there.
I'm getting that.
DPXVPA. It's right here. DPXVPA. Right here, up here.
Then we're not seeing that.
Click on the maximum, you will see where they start.
Oh. Let me see you go back for a second. Go back.
Right here on the corner here.
Oh. Bro, it's literally 9.
Mr. Yang, I'm really enjoying it right now. Sydney? Like, hello. Olivia, why are you hating on me? I just think it's funny.
Never mind.
Sydney?
I can see her doing stand up.
Oh my god. I don't know any good jokes. Whoa.
My bad. My bad. Oh, if he's like PI.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just found the calculator thing. You like put the keyboard.
Oh, you can try 5.
And then minus 3. Yeah. It doesn't say like completed or something.
What do you think is going on? Wait, if you like send the numbers over. So yeah, you don't care about the tech.
Huh?
Do we skip that?
What?
Do we skip that? I don't want to type in the type box. Bro, Olivia. Come on. Stop. Anything we have to do? Wait, you just wrote 2 different ways to see that. Yes.
You can just.
It can. Wait, did you hit your class?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, you just type right in letters.
It's just type. Okay.
It's so many letters. Y equals 1.
I got. You can have a part of it. Because if you're at x minus 5, it will be on the same. But if you do the same thing, it just moves around, but you won't see if it's right or wrong. Wait, that's 38. Yeah.
Did you compromise over your equation?
For my equation, I didn't write. You can't write it.
Well, this is right.
It's
So
like
not
every 5, yes.
like that's.
Where did you get the 1 here?
Yo, I'm so stuck. How do I find me? So is it negative 5 times 5?
I think
What if negative 5 would be 5?
No,
move it to the left. Oh. You're saying that graph is like 1? Why the 1?
It literally was never a 5. Yeah, I don't know how.
So,
No, I literally don't know. I'm so good. Like, I
-5 and just go on and half of 1. If you put -2, it will still be the same. It's just like that.
Oh, it's Q5.
Help me.
Sure.
Okay, I've got some of my equations.
For number 2,
I got them in line. I don't know if that's How am I supposed to do it?
They're like fractions.
Bye.
Oh damn, bro, we gotta do this for like. How do I get them?
Well, why the value here?
No, it's minus 6. If you zoom in, I'll tell you.
A, B, C, D.
If you zoom in enough, it gives you like
So D is like plus or minus number. Number should I have?
So the first one's pi.
you can do a sine.
Yeah. But mine's 2. Oh, okay. I want
You have to do one with cosine. Cosine's product of A. So big is that have to. See that? So if you want to write the same thing for cosine.
So my midline starts at is my midline change, and then
It's gonna be because that's the midline's probably the most important thing. You need that cosine.
what's the
It tells you like exactly right.
pi over 6 to 13 Wait, how do you
Shift
get
it over to
What did you get for this?
How you doing?
So how do I like move this?
So you had to
Oh,
right? So remember it's moving right. So you want to say this one is moving right. So minus what? You move right is y. Does that make sense? Now you're gonna try to
Oh my gosh, 22 questions.
not that.
Yes, if you tell
Oh,
if you could show that the graph was going to infinity, if you could plug 4 negative,
Oh, I think I'm going on.
Willie, let's say he tells us his high degree, and he tells us the period.
Root.
Yeah, what would I do?
if you zoom in like enough, it'll give you like the values in a half. It's just like 0.0. And you would just do minus because you'll be shift to the right.
Okay, so
Yeah, you don't need to do the fraction.
cosine is right.
You don't need to do the fraction.
You still need to find out what the B is.
Like step is
Because you need to see from where to where. It's best to grab midline so you can see
Yeah, I
where
always
period
do that.
is. So always better to make sure you put a midline there.
Oh my gosh, they're actually gonna see my name. Guys, please discard record what I wrote.
You have to definitely comment on it if you can.
Y is equal to oh, this is right.
That's just pi over 4.
Involving signs. You know,
Equals
When you're ready for cosine.
9. I just literally did not build it.
I'm not gonna read.
I want to know why though.
Even
Yeah, what it goes, you go the midline.
hey,
Tell me what it is.
Bro, we were just waiting.
You're not supposed to do it.
You guys are clear to be on. You got that, but it for that one you just meant to make midline.
You please do anything.
I'll make some ice.
You can do it really fast.
Lyndon, math comes. Lyndon, she lived right next to your neighborhood, so she's going.
Mr. Yang, you know I haven't seen my essay before, my grade.
You'll be fine.
It can go to an S.
Mr. A, you still have not input time. 52.5.
Are you gonna do the trig test? Mr. Yu, you put trig test part 2. You should put my SAT score. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Our Jason's red. You ready for the customer? Is the test hard? No! Anyways, bye. Should I? Or do you?
Don't. It's homework. Lyndon, Mascom, please. I need your help this weekend.
I'll teach you how to do this.
Huh?
Do I need to sign up?
No, you don't need to sign up. I'm gonna pay for you too.
Just say your name is Vincent.
No, I'm gonna pay for him too.
Just show up.
Yeah, Lyman High School. You can get right with him. Castania can ride with. Can you give like I don't know, one of you guys offer a ride or something?
This is the homework. You're not making this homework.
Homework. Oh my
I'm already
god.
on 7, bro. It's not that.
It's
You're
not
already
that
on
bad.
7? 7 out of 22. I'm on 7.
What are you on, Alex?
I'm already on. You're too. It's easy. Bro. Too slow. Bro. Too slow. I'm being constant. How many on this test?
100 my ass.
If I get 100, I might get 100. Hell no.
I almost can bet money on it.
$20.
$20? Alex?
I bet one.
I don't get